Hello, it's 4 News O'Clock on All News Nigeria. I am Okwemi Olubimi here at the headlines for today. Harvard legacy policy faces civil rights challenge. China accuses United Kingdom of protecting fugitives. Now the news. A number of civil rights groups in the United States have filed a complaint against legacy admissions at Harvard University, challenging the top academic institution's practice of considering family ties to donors or alumni when mulling student applications.
Harvard's legacy admissions policy is being challenged just days after the Supreme Court struck down its race-conscious admissions policies. 3 civil rights groups Monday filed a complaint against the university with the U.S. Department of Education. They claim the school's preferential policy for undergraduate applicants with family ties to the elite institution overwhelmingly benefits white students, and that it violates federal law banning race discrimination for programs that receive federal funds. Harvard did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Just last week, the Supreme Court said the race-conscious policies adopted by Harvard University and the University of North Carolina to ensure that more non-white students are admitted are unconstitutional. The groups in Monday's complaint said the ruling made it even more imperative to eliminate policies that disadvantage non-white applicants. According to the complaint, nearly 70% of Harvard applicants with family ties to donors or alumni are white and are about 6 times more likely to be admitted than other applicants. About 28% of Harvard's class of 2019 were legacies, according to the civil rights groups, which claimed fewer admission slots were available for non-white applicants who are far less likely to have family ties to the school. The groups are asking the Department of Education to investigate Harvard's admissions practices and order the school to abandon legacy preferences if it wants to continue receiving federal funding.
In a federal civil rights complaint filed on Monday, the Lawyers for Civil Rights, LCR nonprofit, called legacy admissions discriminatory because they give a leg up to predominantly white applicants tied to wealthy donors and alumni. The organization said it filed a complaint with the U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights on behalf of racial justice groups, the Chica Project, the African Community Economic Development of New England, and the Greater Boston Latino Network. Legacy admissions, which racial justice advocates have been long criticized as a form of entrenched privilege at top universities, have come under renewed scrutiny following a U.S. Supreme Court decision last week to ban colleges from considering race in admissions decisions. The top court's ruling dealt a major setback to affirmative action efforts aimed at boosting the enrollment of Black and Latino students. The decision was welcomed by critics of affirmative action who have argued it works against white and some minority students, namely Asian Americans, who also may come from disadvantaged backgrounds. But the ruling also was widely criticized, including by United States President Joe Biden, who said it would expand privilege instead of opportunity. Monday's complaint references the conservative majority Supreme Court decision, stating the ruling has made it even more imperative now to eliminate policies that systematically disadvantage students of color. The complaint alleges that Harvard's admissions system violates the Civil Rights Act, which prohibits discrimination based on factors such as race, religion, and national origin. It also states that about 70% of Harvard's donor-related and legacy applicants are white, and legacy students are about 6 times more likely to be admitted. In other news, China has accused the United Kingdom of protecting fugitives after the British Foreign Secretary criticized Hong Kong's decision to offer $1 million bounties for the arrest of 8 democracy activists based overseas, as the territory's leader said the group will be pursued for life. In a statement late on Monday, China's embassy in London said British politicians have openly offered protection for fugitives, calling it crude interference in Hong Kong's rule of law and China's internal affairs. The embassy called on British politicians to stop using this anti-China Hong Kong disruption to jeopardize China's sovereignty and security. On Tuesday, Hong Kong leader John Lee told reporters that the only way for the activists to end their destiny of being an abscondee who will be pursued for life is to surrender, and urged them to give themselves up as soon as possible. In response to Hong Kong's accusations against the activists, some of whom are based in the UK Foreign Secretary James Cleverly had previously said London would not tolerate any attempts by China to intimidate and silence individuals in the United Kingdom and overseas. Hong Kong's national security law was brought in 3 years ago and grants authorities sweeping extraterritorial powers to prosecute acts or comments made anywhere in the world that it deems criminal. It is widely seen as Beijing-backed tool of suppression and was imposed after months of pro-democracy protests had engulfed the city. More than 100,000 Hong Kongers have immigrated to the United Kingdom since the British government opened a bespoke visa route for them in the wake of the national security law. Although the United Kingdom has suspended its extradition treaty with Hong Kong, some Hong Kongers feel that not enough is being done to ensure their safety in Britain. And that's it on today's news. To keep up with all news Nigeria, kindly follow us on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. I am Okoyemi Olugbemi. Do have a lovely evening.